Kerry, Madsen, and Austin McCarl in row 1. Rico, Abreu, and Brad Sweet in row 2. Kyle Larson and Tyler Courtney in row number 3. Kasey, Kahne, Justin Peck in row 4. Row 5, Emerson Axsom and Corey Day. 6th row, Scott Bogucki and Aaron Reutzel. Row 7, Spencer Bayston and Brenham Crouch. Row number 8, Tanner Holmes and Caleb Johnson. Row 9, Brian Brown and Brent Marks. Row 10, Danny Sams and Cale Thomas. Tanner Thorson, Ayrton Gennetten, Dason Pursley, Chris Martin. Your B-main transfers, and Chase Randall utilizing a provisional to start 25th. 30 laps, $20,000 on the line. Lakeside Speedway, we got them racked, we got them stacked, and we've got the grandstands packed. Let's go racing on turn number 4. We are green. A little bit of a wonky start there from Madsen. He swapped lanes down the front straightaway. That allows Austin McCarl to go by and take the race lead away. Austin McCarl shows the way down the back straightaway. Rico Abreu trying to make quick work of Kerry Madsen. He'll look to the inside and take the second spot away. Down the front stretch, now Abreu coming after McCarl for the race lead. Might see a slider into turn 1. Rico going to try and roll the bottom. We got 2 cars together in turn 4. The yellow's out for Brenham Crouch and Brian Brown. And that is a big break for Kerry Madsen as he got a little bit of a wonky start there. Got on the throttle, the car shot up the racetrack, and Austin McCarl drove right back underneath of him and took the lead away. But with the yellow on the opening lap, that will put the 55 Vermeer Motorsports car back to the front row. We have mentioned a couple times on this broadcast, Kerry Madsen, former Outlaw winner right here at Lakeside. That was back in 2014. 5 career top 5s against the Outlaws here. He did not qualify for the feature last season with High Limit Racing as they are still trying to untangle. Looks like they did get him untangled there. Brian Brown and Brenham Crouch. Crouch started in the 14th position. Brian Brown started back in the 17th position. Rico Abreu trying to keep his hot streak alive. Abreu has won a sprint car race each of the last 3 weekends in a row. Dating back to the World of Outlaws weekend at Knoxville, won the points opener at Knoxville the week later, and then won last week the Texas Motor Speedway dirt track. So Rico has the chance to be in victory lane for every weekend for a month. See if he can do it. Coming back to green for the complete restart here in just a moment. All right, back underway. Better start that time for Kerry. They'll roll the car to, oh, we got some contact, and upside down front straightaway, Dason Pursley. Dason Pursley upside down front straightaway, the Bogucki Motorsports car. Pursley rolled off in this one from the 23rd position. Had moved up a couple of spots due to that opening lap wreck between Crouch and Brown. On these 2 restarts, though, it's pretty apparent that it's just chaos coming down the front straightaway. Cars trying to find grip and find speed and make their way into turn 1. And maybe some kind of issue like that, a car getting sideways down the straightaways, but caused Pursley to wreck. Here is the comp cams replay. See Pursley at the tail end of the field there. Oh. Yeah, that was the incident I saw up ahead. It was Caleb Johnson and Scott Bogucki had gotten together. It looks like Tanner Thorson slows down there. He sees that wreck happening, and Pursley not able to react quick enough and go to the outside of him. Clips his back bumper and spins the car around, goes for a couple of barrel rolls. Madsen and McCarl, Abreu and Sweet, Larson and Courtney, Kahne and Peck, and then Axsom and Day. With your top 10 starters. The Hasty Baked Grills Kansas City Clash is underway once again. On the outside, Austin McCarl gets a good jump and he'll make his way into turn number 1 with the race lead. Off of turn number 2, he will have it secured from Kerry Madsen down the back straightaway. Rico Abreu runs in the 3rd spot. Then it's Brad Sweet 4th and 5th at this point in time is the 7BC of Tyler Courtney. Courtney rockets around the outside, coming after Sweet down the front straightaway, but Sweet has that 4th position. Back to the inside goes Kerry Madsen, pulls up alongside of Austin McCarl down the back straightaway. McCarl separates himself into turn 3. Kerry's car looks pretty solid around the bottom side of the racetrack. McCarl chooses the outside. The top 2 starting to pull away slightly from Rico Abreu in 3rd. Kerry Madsen might have found something on the bottom side of the racetrack early on in this one. Only 3 car lengths separate the top 2 as they work back into turn 3. Austin McCarl, the pressure is on him, looking for that first ever National Touring win. Down the front straightaway into turn number 1. Kerry Madsen keeping them honest. They're stapled together as they work through turns 1 and 2. Down the back straightaway, Abreu still in 3rd. Sweet 4th, 5th is Courtney. Then it's Larson, Peck, Bogucki, Kahne, and Axsom rounds out the top 10. Up front, though, still a dandy of a race between the 88W and the 55. And they've got traffic not too far ahead of them. Down the back straightaway, Austin McCarl's got to start figuring things out, where to go with the lap cars. They are all over the racetrack just in front of him. That time by, 5 down and 25 to go. Kerry Madsen back to the inside of Austin McCarl. No doubt McCarl saw the nose on the Premier Motorsports 55 that time by. The problem for your race leader is the cars in front of him are bottom, top, middle, all over the place. Kerry Madsen to the inside in turn 1, looking for the race lead. Pulls up next to him, pulls ahead of him. Off of turn number 2, might have a new race leader. They're side by side down the back straightaway. Good stuff at the front of the field. Austin McCarl on the cushion. Kerry Madsen trying to pay the tire blow on the bottom. He'll take the race lead away across the line. Kerry Madsen to the top spot. Now Brad Sweet looking on the inside of Rico Abreu. In turn number 2, Abreu holds him off. Down the back straightaway, may have been some contact between your top 2. Austin McCarl in the back pocket of Kerry Madsen. Off of turn number 4. Madsen still shows the way, but lap traffic just ahead of him. 2 cars side by side. Danny Sams and Chris Martin. Now Abreu to the inside of McCarl off of turn number 2. Austin McCarl holds him off. Down the back straightaway. What is going to happen when they get to traffic? They got to start making some moves and making them now. Abreu to the inside of McCarl off of turn number 4. Can't make the pass. McCarl still hangs on to 2nd. Now Madsen into the lap traffic. To the inside of Danny Sams. Rico Abreu underneath of Austin McCarl takes 2nd down the back straightaway. Rico Abreu into the 2nd position. Brad Sweet now to 3rd. McCarl dropping like a rock as they work off of turn number 4. Madsen still shows the way, but Abreu looking to his outside. The traffic is still all over the place. McCarl's off the pace on the front straightaway. Austin McCarl into the infield. We will stay green. Down the backstretch, new leader, they get together. Madsen and Abreu get together. And Brad Sweet's upside down in turn 3. Huge wreck in turn 3. Kerry Madsen and Brad Sweet both getting upside down in the 3rd corner. And Larson has significant damage to the top wing of the Silva Motorsports 57. Kerry Madsen and Rico Abreu racing for the lead into turn 3. It looked like they both wanted the bottom, and there just was not enough room down there. Madsen went for the spin cycle into the corner, collected Brad Sweet and Kyle Larson. And potentially a huge moment here in the Highland Racing point standings. It's still very early on in the year, but with that issue for Brad Sweet, he no doubt gonna need to go to the work area. And with the incident for Abreu, or make that for Madsen, for Sweet, that's gonna move Tyler Courtney up into the 2nd position for the restart. Kyle Larson, you saw him out of the Finley Farms 57. Brad Sweet and Kerry Madsen both out of theirs cars as well. Trying to get the 55 back on all 4 wheels here. Tyler Courtney entered tonight 83 points behind Brad Sweet. As we'll take a look at the comp cams replay here. Kerry Madsen with the lead. He's trying to go to the bottom here. And Rico goes down there. They get together. Somehow Abreu's car stays on all 4s, and Brad Sweet goes for a front flip. Larson hits Madsen midair. Here's a good shot of it from our infield camera in turn 3. Both drivers going for the same piece of the racetrack there, and man, Sweet absolutely smoked the front of that car on the racetrack there. Let's go downstairs to Tony Laporta.
Kerry Madsen's Vermeer number 55 is back down on all 4s, but that's about the only good thing he can can say about it. Kerry's getting out of the race car. That's the best news, race fans. Kerry Madsen is up and out of this race car. Kerry, first of all, are you okay?
I'm not sure what happened, but, you know, not sure yet.
Well, we're glad to talk. Kerry Madsen is okay. Other side of this incident, Chase, Brad Sweet was out of his number 49 Napa machine for Kasey Kahne Racing, not receiving medical attention or anything of that nature. Ty Wolfgang, the newly named young crew chief on that 49, had made his way over here to the outside of really turn 3, if you're being honest about it. And Brad was already up and out of the car communicating with Ty as to what was wrong on the 49 and what would need replacing. Brad got back in the car, strapped himself back in, and they're taking that car to the work area right now. We're going to head over there and see what we can find.
Yeah, huge moment here, as we mentioned, with the issue for Madsen and the issue for Sweet. That will promote Tyler Courtney to second in this race, and maybe even higher as Rico, his car got way up in there. You got to imagine there's got to be something bent on that car, but he will come back for the restart with the race lead. But Tyler Courtney entered tonight 83 points behind Brad Sweet, and this is very similar to Sweet last year at Placerville, when he got together with Zeb Wise and took a huge ride down the backstretch there. They were somehow able to get that car back on the track, and he finished the race. There is Rico Abreu. All 4, at least the 3 tires we can see, appear to be all still filled with air. But that car was 4 wheels off the ground in the 3rd corner. And as you can see, Kyle Larson's car has seen some better days there. He's already vacated the vehicle and made his way back to the trailer. So the Durst dice roll will not be claimed here tonight, unfortunately, for our friend Robert Anderson. And you can get a look at it right there. And that team is going to have some work to do as well, as they are scheduled to be at Knoxville Raceway tomorrow night. So some work to do on the 55.
There's a lot of work to get done to that Kasey Kahne Racing number 49 of Brad Sweet. They've got guys from a bunch of crews down there helping. Andrew Bowman from the number 9. The rest of that number 9 team are down there. And you talked about it. You'd have to work pretty hard to find the last time Brad Sweet didn't finish a National Winged 410 feature. I'm not saying it's going to happen here tonight, but they have a lot of work still to do on that number 49.
Yeah, that's what it looks like here, Tony, from at least our drone shot here. They still have quite a bit to do on the car. They've certainly got enough hands in there to try and make the repairs happen. As there's your leader, Rico Abreu. That car appears to be rolling around the racetrack just fine. So he will be the leader when we go back to green. Tyler Courtney should be in the 2nd position. Wow, that whole sequence right there, that was the same exact lap that Austin McCarl pulled off the track. And so Madsen was 1st, Sweet was 3rd, McCarl was 5th, and Larson was 6th. So a huge, huge shakeup in the top 5 and top 10 for this upcoming restart. By my calculations, Abreu will be the leader, Courtney 2nd. Looks like Justin Peck will be promoted to the 3rd position. 4th for Scott Bogucki, 5th to Corey Day. 6th will be Kasey Kahne. 7th, Emerson Axsom. 8th, Spencer Bayston. 9th, Brent Marks. And 10th, Caleb Johnson, by my rough calculations there. As here comes Brad Sweet, race fans. He's back onto the track after being upside down. Great work by that team to get him back out there. The nose wing a little tweaked there, but he's going to try and limp that thing home for a half-decent finish. Looks like Rico's going to choose the bottom. Courtney to the top. Peck also to the top. That'll move Scott Bogucki to 3rd. He's still 4th, but he's on the inside of row 2 for the upcoming restart. And Brad Sweet, I think there's something broke on the 49. The right rear is dragging the ground. The right rear is dragging the ground on Brad Sweet's car. We're coming to green. We'll see how long he can hang on for. That thing is hurting right now. Abreu and Courtney back to green. Rico goes to the bottom at turn 1. He'll show the way down the backstretch. Scott Bogucki getting by Justin Peck for a moment for 3rd, but Peck takes it back away down the back straightaway. Here comes Kasey Kahne. Kahne coming after Bogucki for 4th off of turn number 4. Kasey Kahne's up to 4th now. Kasey Kahne now to the inside of Justin Peck, trying to take 3rd away. He'll lose 4th though. Scott Bogucki back by him off of turn number 2 down the back straightaway. Now Justin Peck to the right rear of Tyler Courtney, looking for second off of turn number 4. Tyler Courtney likes the bottom side of the racetrack. Justin Peck going to take his car straight to the outside. Off of turn number 2 and down the back straightaway. Here comes Justin Peck with a huge run. We've got one off the pace. Danny Sams and Brad Sweet hangs a hard left off the track in turn 4. So the yellow's out for the 24D of Danny Sams. And the 49 of Brad Sweet is going to try and get whatever was broken there on the restart fixed. Looks like maybe a right rear potentially down on Sam's car, looking at it from here, Tony.
Yeah, you wonder what's the issue with Danny Sams. I know my eyes were on that number 49 of Brad Sweet, as you can see a live look there of Cruz jumping into tandem. Once again, I checked in with Andrew Bowman on Brad's teammate and car owner Kasey Kahne's number 9. Front axle, shocks, the wing ram actually needed to get replaced on the number 49 as well as that right rear tire. And as we see them tending to that right rear corner once again, you just wonder, did possibly something in the fray of all those teams and all those different hands and bodies jumping in to help, did something not get connected, or at least tightly enough in that right rear corner, forcing the driver of the 49, Brad Sweet, back off the racetrack? That caution was going to come out for Danny Sams no matter what. You want to talk about the lucky break of the race? That might just have happened to Brad Sweet here.
Yeah, we'll see if they can make the repairs, though.
Because, Chase, as you know, when you head to the work area with High Limit Racing, you get time during the feature, but once you've visited the work area and you receive that allotted amount of time, you can return to the work area, but you are no longer guaranteed any specific amount of time. It's up until 1 to go. As the leaders come around here to split the Frozen Farmer pick point, if this is when they do in fact see the 1 to go and Brad Sweet's not back out onto the racetrack, they would have to stay in the work area in hopes of another yellow flag coming out. Then Brad would be able to rejoin, but this is getting pretty tight right now.
Yeah, that is certainly the case. Frozen Farmer pick pine is out there. Rico's going to choose the bottom once again. Sunshine to the top. Pick pine's heading back to the infield. The lights are out. And it does appear that Brad Sweet will be stuck in the work area and is going to be right now scored in the 21st position. Abreu and Courtney, a huge opportunity for them to maybe close some ground. The championship point standings, we're back underway. Rico leads the field into turn number 1. Tyler Courtney, first car to step out of line, trying to build momentum. Car back behind him, a little off the pace with Scott Bogucki off of turn number 2. He's once again side by side with Kasey Kahne. Kahne trying to get the top side of the racetrack worked in. Down the front straightaway, Kasey Kahne now coming after Justin Peck as well. They're almost 3 wide going into the corner. Scott Bogucki takes third away from Justin Peck in turn 1. Scott Bogucki up to the 3rd spot. Now Peck gets into the back of him down the back straightaway. Maybe gets a little shot in the shorts right there. Scott Bogucki nice and smooth around the bottom. Behind him, racing on for 4th position, Kasey Kahne trying to take it away from Justin Peck. Into turn number 1, Kahne floats the middle right there, does not work out for him, and Peck pulls away down the back straightaway. Kahne feeling the heat from the 27 of Emerson Axsom now. Axsom trying to crack into the top 5. He'll look to the inside of the HendrickCars.com number 9 car, take that spot away. Emerson Axsom now into the top 5. Scott Bogucki still fighting with Justin Peck for the final podium position. Bogucki looking for his best ever run tonight with High Limit Racing if he can hang on. Justin Peck trying to get the outside of the racetrack worked in. Does not appear very fast down in turns 3 and 4. The top is good in 1 and 2, though. You see that right there as Peck gains multiple miles per hour as he rolls into turn 3. Justin Peck working the top end all by himself right now in the Routine Racing 26. Side by side with Bogucki across the line. Justin Peck has got the elbows up and he is working hard. He's got 3rd down the back straightaway. Past the halfway mark in this one for Rico Abreu. 18 in and 12 to go. Justin Peck, the show right now. Most cars around the bottom. He's like the first guy in the top 10 on the outside. Rico's going to have some issues, though, if he's going to have to try and start moving his car around. Multiple cars on the bottom right in front of him. His lead has grown considerably, though. Over 2.8 seconds the last time by over Tyler Courtney. Abreu, Courtney, Peck, Bogucki, and Axsom. Those are your top 5. The race for 3rd is still a good one. Bogucki working back to the inside. Justin Peck now drops the car to the bottom. Takes the line away. Rico now taking his car to the outside in turns 3 and 4 as he encounters the lap traffic at the tail end of the field. We'll see if Tyler Courtney's able to close in. That time by, Sunshine took a half-second out of the race lead. Top side of the racetrack in 3 and 4, just not quite as good as 1 and 2. And Rico's trying to get by Brian Brown. A 16.3 that time for Abreu, a 15.3 for Sunshine. Took a second out of the lead that time by the line. Car off the pace in turns 3 and 4. It looks like Cale Thomas has a problem. We are still green. Thomas able to get out of the way. Might check up a couple of cars in front of your race leader, but Cale Thomas, that car has an issue, and he's going to pull into the infield in the back straightaway. Rico now has 2 cars between himself and Tyler Courtney. 6 laps to go that time by for Peck. Whoa, that was a close call into turn 1. Brenham Crouch right across the nose of your race leader. Abreu able to get by him and dispose of another lap car. Tyler Courtney trying to make his way through the traffic as well. He'll get by Brian Brown. Only 1.3 seconds separate the top 2. Courtney with a little mistake right there in turn 1, and Rico's able to pull back away slightly. This time by, 4 laps to go for the Mesilla Valley Transportation number 24. Still a 1.3 second gap between first and second. Issue for Scott Bogucki off at turn number 2. Nearly lost the handle on the race car. Still runs in 4th. As it looks like Spencer Bayston moves his way into the top 5. Bayston gets by Emerson Axsom. He's up to 5th. Spencer Bayston looking for his first top 5 finish of the year with Highlander Racing. Rico Abreu, this time by, 2 laps to go for back-to-back wins with Highlander Racing, but Tyler Courtney has closed the gap considerably. That time by 0.8 of a second between first and second. Down the backstretch, here comes Tyler Courtney. Might have something here on the final lap. Coming to the wave of the white flag. Abreu still working on a couple of lap cars. Tanner, Thorson, and Ayrton Gennetten. 1 lap to go. Rico around the top. Tyler Courtney diamonds in off the corner. Within 5 car lengths down the back straightaway. Looking for victory into turns 3 and 4. Off of turn number 4, Rico Abreu's gonna get the win at the Hasty Bay Grills Kansas City Clash. Tyler Courtney second, third goes to Justin Peck, fourth to Spencer Bayston, and fifth goes to Scott Bogucki. Back-to-back wins for Rico Abreu. He gets it done here tonight at Lakeside Speedway in a wild one. Tyler Courtney second, Justin Peck third, fourth goes to Spencer Bayston, fifth goes to Scott Bogucki. Emerson Axsom, Corey Day, Aaron Reutzel, Brent Marks, and Tanner Holmes round out the top 10. Kasey Kahne, Caleb Johnson, Chase Randall, Ayrton Gennetten, Tanner Thorson, Brenham Crouch, Chris Martin, Brian Brown, Cale Thomas, Danny Sams the third, the top 20. And then Brad Sweet, Kerry Madsen, Austin McCarl, Kyle Larson, and Dason Pursley. And he is about ready to climb up on top of the Mesilla Valley Transportation number 24. How about it, Kansas City? Your winner here tonight, Rico Abreu. Off the right rear, he'll jump off and talk to Tony Laporta.
Rico Abreu, he's running around. He doesn't know where to go to celebrate. He's gonna get the Hasty Baked Charcoal Grills hat. We're gonna hook him up with a Chasm Safety Technologies win sticker here in just a moment. You probably need some hydration. That was a wild and a woolly one. So much start and go, stop and go, stop and go. Back-to-back jacks with High Limit Racing. How'd you do that one?
Just a little disappointed in myself, to be honest, just for putting myself in that position with the 55. And I just want to apologize to Tony Vermeer and you know, just and Kerry. I just pressed the needle there, and you know, I needed to be a little more patient myself. You just get really excited when you get to lap traffic, and it's easy just to kind of stick your nose in. You know, I just hate racing like that. Like that's you know, something I've really wanted to develop, those habits of my career of not putting myself in awkward positions with my race car. And you know, I'm just proud of my guys. You know, they execute all these nights, and they leave it up to me when I get out on the racetrack. It's amazing to race in front of so many fans tonight. You know, I know Lakeside needed to see something like this, and then the racing was put together really well there, and they made some good decisions on track prep, and my team did an unbelievable job just making those last-minute calls to get my car really good. And it's just very fortunate and grateful to be driving a fast race car right now.
You're driving a really fast race car. You hit on a lot of great points there. Lakeside did need to see an event like this. How about this crowd, though? They didn't go anywhere. They stayed to watch you and the rest of the high rollers do battle here tonight. All right, you get the issue with the 55 out of the way. We were going to talk about that. Let's talk about something else. Championship points. You come in here fourth. You pick up your fourth victory in as many weeks. Bigger news, Brad Sweet did not finish this race. How does that affect your season moving forward? Albeit early, that changes things, doesn't it?
I mean, it doesn't affect any of it. We got 40 more races to go this year, and you know, this is you know, a position where I got to go back and study and just to understand the process of the race there. You know, I just got a little impatient about lap 10, and when we caught traffic and you know, stuck my nose in on the 55, and just you know, I'm pretty disappointed in myself to put myself in that position.
Well, Rico, great crowd here tonight. The boys from Hasty Bake are here hanging out with you. But as always, something you're very proud to be a part of with Kubota High Limit Racing is when a high roller, a full-time driver with the series, scores a feature victory in 2025. An angel donor who supported this series last year has agreed to come back and send $1,000 to any charity that a high roller chooses every time they win. Where's your $1,000 going to tonight?
You know, it's just incredible what the angel donor and High Limit have put together. Just giving so much notoriety to these foundations that these drivers can direct, you know, $1,000 to. And this year and last year, I've been matching that $1,000 every time we win and donating it to Jackson's Superhero Foundation. It's a foundation that specializes in just getting the word out there on muscular dystrophy and the Hunt family. And Jackson, I know they're watching tonight, and thank you guys so much for tuning in on Flow to all these races. You know, and every win we get this year, we're going to donate, and a lot of partners of ours are going to donate to the foundation. So it's just an incredible cause, draws so much awareness to these foundations that don't necessarily get a lot of notoriety.
Well, that's really cool because we know you do the win sticker for that. Director of Excitement, Jake Ingram's going to bring in your second Chasm Safety Products win sticker. Big thanks to Chasm Safety Products for what they do with High Limit as well as the sport of sprint car racing. Back-to-back Jacks with High Limit. This one's a bit bittersweet. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. Thank all you fans. This is just sprint car racing's been so incredible the last few years, and it's always really, really exciting, and you know, I'm just grateful I'm in this position.
2 nights in a row, your winner with Kubota High Limit Racing is Rico Abreu. Chase Rodman, talk to us for a moment.
Yes, Tony, we need to talk about a couple of contingency award winners here. Of course, we got to talk about the Race Routine Foundation Rookie of the Race. That was Chase Randall after a provisional. Drove from 25th to 13th, and in the process also grabbed the Rod End Supply Hard Charger. And also Rico Abreu was the Jace Golf Cart's fastest lap award at 14.935 seconds. That was on lap 14. So congrats to our contingency winners here tonight.
A different word. All right, Tyler Courtney down here. He thinks he's a contingency award. That's not what you are. You're a second place finisher. You did it coming from 6th, and it was a lot of attrition in this race. What did you see from behind your steering wheel of that NOS Energy Drink 7BC?
Just hard racing, and then yeah, I think space ran out there and getting into 3 for some of those guys, and yeah, luckily we were far enough back that we you know, missed all of that. So yeah, and put ourselves in a good spot for the rest of the race, but just we were just a little tight for the long run there on the bottom, and needed to get back to traffic so we could move around. I felt like I was better moving around than just, you know, being committed to the bottom, but just kind of let Rico get a little too far out there. But man, they're a hell of a team. They're clicking on all cylinders right now. But our whole NOS Energy Drink, LA's Custom Trailer, Aspire Motorsports team had a great night. To bounce back from a 16th on you know, last Saturday to rebound with a second tonight is just says a lot about what we're about, and yeah, just happy for my team and my guys, and we'll move on to Granite City tomorrow and try and get our first one of the season.
Tyler Courtney from 6th to 2nd shows off exactly what year-long championship point racing really is all about. It's a Hoosier in 2nd. It's another Hoosier in 3rd. Monrovia, Indiana's Justin Peck takes the Skagit Speedway Race Routine Foundation, number 26, to a 3rd place finish. You came from even farther back, 8th place on the grid. What was tonight like for 30 laps on the Lakeside Speedway?
It was, you know, early on, I mean, it was pretty hammered down. Like, you know, there was some grip on the bottom, and it threw some dirty stuff up there in the middle, and you could, I'm not going to say run it wide open, but for the most part, he was pretty hammered down, and it just seemed like we all kind of filed out. And then, you know, there was that crash there in 3 and 4, probably 10, 12 laps into the race, and it just seemed like us packing that dirty stuff in, kind of brought the track maybe back to life a little bit, maybe could kind of race a little bit, but you know, all in all, it just, you know, you're running the top and you're just hammered down, man. But it was so dirty up there, like it didn't have like a packed ledge or anything, so it just seemed like it chewed my tire up pretty quick. I felt like I fired off on that restart and pressured Sunshine for a while, and it it was like in a snap of a finger, the top just kind of went away on me, and got into a battle there with Bogucki. So it was pretty entertaining race. I think we just need to work on our balance a little bit. You know, Ron Shaver and Ford Performance got us you know, an engine for this weekend with you know, some new heads on it, and the power's there. You know, our engine seems to be running pretty good, but you know, we kind of knew that you know, once we got some power back in the race car, that we were probably gonna have to change a couple things, you know, handling wise, and I think our balance was just off there. It just still seems like I fly the left front way too much, but you know, all in all, good night. You know, happy to feel like we were kind of in the mix for a win. You know, it doesn't seem like we've really battled for a podium a lot here recently, but you know, I just want to thank you know, Kevin and Monica Rudine and the Race Rudine Foundation and Hager Realty, and happy birthday to my crew chief Tyler Tessmaker, and say thanks to him and Brandon and A-Rod, and say hi to everybody back at Skagit in Washington that's watching, and you know, we'll come out for Tri-City tomorrow and try to battle for another win.
That's Justin Peck going from 8th to 3rd here tonight. Tyler Courtney goes 6th to 2nd, and Rico Abreu. Chase, think about it. We talked about it down on the front straightaway. The last time he started in the 3rd position here at Lakeside Speedway, he finished 22nd. That was in High Limit Racing's trip here back in 2023. Well, he #flips the script. Abreu goes from 3rd to the victory, albeit a bittersweet victory. He goes back-to-back with Kubota High Limit Racing. We're cleaning everything up down here. That was a wild and a woolly race, but in the words of my man Cody Jinks, we all get by the grace of God. We all get by. I'm going to go see if Hasty Bake has any more tri-tip sandwiches. I'll see you at Tri-Cities, Chase.